That feels pretty good. I peeped these notes. I peeped them. And they were good. We're in. I hope you like buffs, everyone. Welcome. I'm back from my trip to Vancouver. Pinnacle 2021 was a blessed experience. You guys ever get a chance to travel to events in the future, if we make it out of this apocalypse, I highly recommend it. I highly recommend going places if you can. It was a lot of fun. I ate and I drank and I played video games and I talked some shit. It was real good. Oh, well, thanks for stopping by, Sylviana. And Yiryagkama, welcome back. Thank you so much for the resub. Faust is back. Spin of the wheel. And you got a golden chocolate bar. Congratulations. And Johnny Juice-Star. There you go. You got a trumpet. Good shot. All right. Okay. All right. So, first, I guess I'll recap about what happened at Pinnacle 2021. I entered Melty and Strive. We won't talk about Melty because I don't consider myself a Melty player, but it was an embarrassment. I stopped playing Melty like a week ago to prep for Strive. So I did about as well as I expected. I went 1 and 2, which was good enough. Now, in Strive, however, I was in Sonic Fox's pool. And so I got to fight Sonic Fox like in round 2 of the tournament or some shit, which was fantastic. I was super excited. They picked Jacko and dumpstered me. We both know like nothing about the matchup, so that's just like that kind of went how it was supposed to go, I think. There were a lot of interactions that just involved like unfamiliarity with like exchanges. So like what happens if you are at advantage but there's a minion overhead? Can you do close S versus 2S or some shit? There's like a lot of shit that went on. It wasn't streamed or captured because it was just a pool match. However, despite losing to Sonic Fox in like the second round of the tournament, I climbed all the way through losers bracket. I made it to the finals match of my pool, and my controller exploded. The housing, and I actually have it here, the housing to my Nutrix cable, the little connector, this is a detachable cable. It was very detachable in that moment. It exploded into 5 separate pieces, and right as I was about to play, I guess it like I had put it into my bag, I put it aside, and when I pulled it out, it was just shattered. Gaskets and little metal bits all over the place. And so now this is where my secret power comes into play. I am a controller wizard, okay? I've been fixing sticks for ages. I don't even use sticks, I use hitboxes, right? But I've been a controller modder and a controller guy for a long time. And I'm like, there's like exposed wiring and shit, like contacts are exposed. I'm like, maybe I can fix it. Who knows? Does it go like this? Does it go like that? I don't know. And so after 5 minutes of futzing, I managed to like get everything more or less together. Like it was literal wires hanging out of the controller. And it worked. It worked. Then I beat the guy. We 2-1. Knocked him out of the tournament. So that was hilarious. So I made it to top 48, which was the Sunday game. So Saturday was up to top 48. Top 48 was done the Saturday. And I won my 2 top 48 matches to put me in top 16. And I lost to Punk. which you guys might have seen. I might go over the replay after all this. It was a good match. Punk's just so strong. Even if Punk says he's not like taking things too seriously, he's still like literally a world champion of like SF5, and I consider his like caliber of player to be like insane, like insanely strong. So I beat his Millia 2-1, but it was best of 5, and so he switched to Soul and beat me 2 in a row, which went about as expected. But I learned a lot in that set. I think I figured out where I was like, where I'm weak, like where my weakness lies and where I have to improve. Because I have execution, I have game knowledge, I have all that stuff, right? But my adjustment is poor. And I think I've more or less identified where that's causing issues, or like why my adjustment is poor. I guess that's a better summary. I think I know why my adjustment is poor. So we will see. Yeah, but like he's supposed to switch to Soul, right? That's what I wanted. That's like the thing is, you want to fight like you can fight Punk, right? But you want to fight like Shin Punk, right? You want the true Punk unlocked. Now, he seemed pretty tired. I don't know what he was doing the night before. But I don't know if he was like, you know, on point. When I play someone, I want to fight like sicko mode, right? Version of that person. And when it comes to really strong players, right? It takes a lot of doing. I'm not like a top player. I don't consider myself to be like I can't win an Evo, right? I'm not that strong. So I'm still developing as a player, right? So who knows? Maybe one day I will be strong enough to win an Evo, but I have to get over all of these sort of like mental hurdles, I guess, or like develop myself mentally to the point where I am like all of my weaknesses are kind of like dealt with, right? And adjustment being like the largest one, because I have all the game knowledge I need more or less, and my reactions I'd say are serviceable. I feel like with my reaction set I could win an Evo. I'm not like if I measured my reactions out, I'm like, yeah, this is enough, right? I'll get to all your questions in a moment before I lose sight of what I was talking about. I have a poor attention span, which is part of it. I wonder if that's part of it. I don't know. The mental aspect of play is very there's a lot we just don't know about, like how brains work and how information is processed and whatever. But what I noticed was there's like everything you do in a match comes down to instinct mostly. You lab, you build muscle memory. Everything you do mid-match, you can't like take a moment to stop and think like through a situation. I come here and I do like deep analysis on fighting game stuff, right? That's what I do, right? This is, if you had to call it anything, it would be called analysis, I believe. Where I break apart every individual aspect of a situation, and I try to like reveal the inner workings of like interactions, right? Like how do reactions play into stuff? Yo, Joker Trick, thanks so much for the sub.
At first he was lost, then he was almost, but now is he lost? I think
he's wousting pretty hard. I'll be real. I saw these patch notes. I was like, holy fuck, we are gonna have some fun. Yeah, we're all wousting right now. So, what are we doing? Right. So I noticed in my match that I was interested in checking his forward movement, Punk's forward movement in neutral. And I was like fixated on it, right? I was pressing I was doing microdash 2P, And there was a moment where I thought, I would really love to represent Dash 2P. I would really like to do that. I think it's cool. I think it's cool to do Dash 2P. Without any kind of respect for his adjustment or his what I had done up to that point. Because I was already doing a lot of 2P. I was doing a lot of options that would encourage these kind of like mid-range buttons from Soul in footsies. I was doing something because I thought it was cool, and not because I was thinking about adjustment. And because I was like, it was just like, yeah, it was wild. So, and it's not something you explain in the moment, right? It's not something I could like talk to myself about in the moment. And I talk to myself a lot. Because everything's happening so fast, all of these feelings you have coming your way are like almost instinctual, right? They're almost like unconscious feelings. Or even if you're conscious about them, they're not put into words, right? They're like, it's like just a feel. You're like, I want to do this, and you go to do the thing, and it feels good when the thing works, right? It's a very like monkey brain experience. So I got counter hit for like half my life for doing this Dash 2P, and I remember the feeling explicitly of what led to me doing that 2P, and like I deserved to get counter hit for like half my life. I had all the information available to me not to 2P there. I had essentially trained Punk to press a button at that moment to murder me. And yet I did Dash 2P because the motivation was like completely incorrect. Going my way! Like it was a, yo, Admiral, thanks so much. I fully expected, in hindsight, I fully expected or should have expected the Dash 6S that deleted me. But I was completely focused on doing something I thought was cool in the moment. I was doing something because I thought it was exciting. And that was the intrinsic feeling, the habit I had. Because I'd play for, like, we all play for fun, right? I thought, wouldn't it be fun if I harassed Soul with Dash 2P? But that was completely the wrong answer. Because I was doing all sorts of things that wouldn't involve, it was such a surreal experience. Anyways, I don't know. You want to spin of the wheel? I understand. You know, you got a 100-ton weight. So, let's get started. I'm going to look at Faust first. I'm going to look at general notes, and then Faust first, and then we'll go from there. All right. So, this isn't the actual website. This is just a... Oh, yeah. Yeah, so the KRC Pinto thing is like Krackatoa Unplugged. It's like, if I don't have the ability to put my thoughts into a 3-minute video for people to digest, that's what I sound like. It's a problem. It's how I make all of my stuff. Anyways, I'm doing good Fish Podcast. We're doing some stuff. Okay, let's see. Added support for the PS4 event tournament feature. Press the triangle button at the main menu displays any upcoming PlayStation tournaments open to entry and will automatically match players with their opponents during supported tournaments. Interesting. Very interesting. Okay. Well, that's not gonna go poorly. We'll see. We'll see. I'm real scared about that one. Very interesting. All right. Well, we'll see how that goes. Nothing could possibly go wrong with an embedded tournament matchmaking feature. Nothing. Nothing. Let's see. So they fixed the ping situation, the connecting to server, so that's good. So we'll see how that goes. It sounds like it'll probably match what Totsugeki is doing right now. So that's good. I'm glad. All right. Network mode. When the player's suggested floor is the Celestial floor, they will now begin matching on the Celestial floor after selecting Quick Start from the main menu. Oh, good. Training mode. When counter setting and either automatic Psych Burst or automatic Roman Canceller are set simultaneously, the counter setting will be prioritized. What are some of my favorite Strive sets from Pinnacle? Mine. You know, that's just how it is. I'm very insular. Battle. The battle version has been updated. Good. Fixed a sound effect bug. Alright. They fixed up R codes. Alright. Fixed a bug where network functions would not respond properly, mostly after viewing a large amount of play data from the ranking screen. Alright. Major confirmed issue. Network features are completely inaccessible under certain play environments. We are continuing to look into and address this issue. Alright. Any players experiencing this, please contact customer support with the following information. Type of console, internet provider, model number of router or network adapter in use, if possible, an image of the error message or a video showing when the error occurs. Customer support. ArcSystemWorks.com/support. Oh, sets I played? I think Punk was probably... My set against Punk was the most notable because I kind of bullied my way through the bracket, save for SonicFox, right? So playing SF was great. Playing Punk was great. I lost both of those. My losses were my most notable, I'd say. Everyone else didn't know what the fuck to do about Faust, and I was laughing. That's just how it is. Alright, so we've made it to the universal mechanics. Alright, we're in. Character balance and bug fixes. Y'all ready? Y'all ready for this? Okay, balance and tensions. Universal mechanics. Overall changes. We have revised the overall functions of projectile special moves, aerial attacks, and anti-airs. Some projectile special moves now have less recovery, making them easier to use in neutral. I think that's good. That's interesting. In accordance with this buff to projectiles, we have also increased the benefit gained from landing aerial attacks. Many characters can now deal more damage than before on counter hit. By increasing the number of moves that can be cancelled into air dashes, it is now easier to launch an offensive after the opponent blocks your aerial attack. Anti-air attacks have also been buffed, in particular by increasing the reward gain from counter hit 6p, making it easier to include special moves. It was our intent to remove the disparity between characters when it came to their options after 6p. Okay, so they're making projectiles stronger. They're making anti-airs stronger. So jumping is now getting riskier overall. You jump to beat projectiles. You air dash to beat projectiles. Yeah, there was a few Faust mains there. So you jump to beat projectiles. You air dash to beat projectiles. But projectiles overall are stronger. And 6Ps are stronger. So we'll see how it goes. We have revised the startup of the fastest normal moves. Characters whose fastest moves had more startup than others now have faster startup on their P attacks, for example. So this happened to Faust. If you manage to peep the Faust buffs, he has a faster 5P now, which is a big deal. Does this mean they removed the command throw OS? You'll have to specify. Startup for mix-up moves. We think overheads in this game are as falling into two categories. Overheads that are difficult to react to, for example standard dust attacks, and overheads that are easily reacted to unless taken by surprise. For example, fully charged dust attacks. We have revised the startup frames for moves that fall in between these categories, which are various levels of difficult to react to, depending on the player and environment. Okay. Lag adjustment. Interesting. Throws. We've extended the time window for throw clashes, which previously only worked when input at almost the exact same time as the opponent's throw. As there were times when a clash would not occur, even when the player successfully predicted the opponent's throw, this change makes it easier to counter opponents' throws with your own. It is also now possible to Roman cancel at any point during the animation of throws, excluding overdrives. It's possible to Roman cancel after an unsuccessful throw to cover up the whiff recovery. This change makes it possible to spend meter to Roman cancel after a successful throw as well. So, we don't know how big the window... Oh, maybe they'll say below. So, I'll go down the changes point by point. It seems listed below with the numbers. Base damage scaling of special moves. Although this varies between characters, we have increased base damage scaling on strong offensive special moves and combo starter moves. Okay. So, going back to throws for a moment, this means like delay tech is going to be stronger, right? So, not having to jump to defend yourself, like to get out of throw situations, is going to be like nice, much nicer. So, I'm sure Nagoriyuki players are kind of like happy for this. However, Faultless Defense had some longer block stun than standard blocking. Yeah, I think it was +2 block stun. However, it was not rewarding enough overall to spend tension gauge on. The block stun has been changed to match standard blocking. This is very good for Faust. There's a lot of matchups where like faultlessing is really bad, normal blocking is very good. So like the Ram matchup, if you FD on Wake Up, you can't crawl her sword toss, right? And that's no longer the case. Now she can't jail you. Unless they change her sword toss properties, the Badguy properties below. For certain moves that don't cause significant knockback on block, Faultless Defense wouldn't open up much difference between the player and opponent previously. There's now a minimum amount of distance that will be created using Faultless Defense. Combined with the changes made to Guard Crush moves, there is now greater merit to using Faultless Defense against any move. This sounds like Faust buffs to me. But we'll see. Alright, now we get to the nitty-gritty. Input buffer. Increased time window for input buffering. Interesting. I'm not sure if it's a nerf to snip mix up. Because well, I don't know. Here's the thing. I do a lot of different... There's a lot of different ways to mix off snip. And I think some of them are sort of like very potent regardless, right? Like some of the rounds, because there's like the rising jump K shit, right? But there's also the safe jump D, which got buffed in this patch. Faust got his safe jumps buff, so now you can actually go for air dash jump D, I think, on all characters, depending on how they change the recovery.
Krackatoa!
So you can probably force the stuff I prefer to use, which is air dash jump D, light the Afro on fire, run mix off that. But we'll see. We'll see. Okay, so they didn't give us numbers for throw clashes. No longer cause a throw clash if a player is pressing a button other than D. Okay, so you can't option select. But you can still do D RC as an OS. Is that even good? Still, being able to like do a late D input makes it this closer to like SF5. So being able to do like a late tech and still break throws is like a big deal. This hurts Geo a lot. This hurts anyone with like throw-centric mix-ups. So the thing about Geo is that she has access to like dash throw as like a mix-up. But because they've extended the throw break window, you can actually probably react to forward dash with throw. And she doesn't have the means to like easily shimmy back after dashing forward, right? So for her to snipe your throw input is exceptionally difficult. She has to like dash and then like dash jump flip, like, or do like an instant air thing, she has to commit to some big shit to call out a late throw break. So, and with the changes to FD, uh-oh, she got big changes? Oh no, Arcs is new. Arcs is new. Okay. Geodash was buffed? Excellent. We'll see. Maybe this was why. Because that, to me, like, changing the throw window, like, dumpsters Geo. Like, FD getting buffed, I called this earlier. FD getting buffed and throw tech getting buffed, like, dumpsters that character into the ground. So, that's important that she got buffs. Okay, fix the bug. Increase the length of slowdown time when a counter hit lands during slowdown. Interesting. We'll see how that goes. Adjusted visual counter hit effect. Okay. Roman cancel. Remove the slowdown adjustment caused by red and purple Roman cancels. Oh, that's a good change. No longer activate during movements such as dash and backdash. That's great. I was having a lot of trouble doing like Faust BRC combos because of this on counter hit. So this actually makes things a lot easier for like Faust routing. Remove the slowdown though. Is it mistranslated? Oh, remove the damage adjustment caused by red and purple RC during slowdown. Okay. Phew. So is that a damage nerf or damage buff? It's a damage buff, isn't it? Interesting. Okay. Homing jump. It is no longer possible to activate Roman cancel during the dust attack follow-up. Okay. Whatever. Okay, wall stick. Fix the bug where the character's position would change when stuck to the wall under certain conditions. Wall break. Fix the bug where the wall break value would not be reset after the animation when a wall break occurs under certain conditions. Huh. Okay. Psych burst. Expanded the hitbox. Boo. 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 Probably good for Faust. Clash. Fixed a bug where moves would behave strangely upon clashing. Alright. Ooh, when projectiles clash, the projectile with lower clash level will now be erased. Interesting. Jump S. This move now triggers the counter effect? Wild. Can now be jump canceled and air dash canceled. So we already had that. Added a Gatling route to jump D. Do we get that as Faust? Oh no. Jump H. This move now triggers the counter effect. Can now be jump canceled and air dash cancel. Our jump H already did a counter effect. So I wonder what the hell's going to happen. I don't know what this all means. It'll be interesting to see how they do it. Can now jump cancel, jump D. And air dash cancel. This is interesting. Oh, we get huge ass slowdown? That's gonna be fucked up. That's really good. Faust can do a lot with this because there's a lot of like Faust routes that people don't know about. So like you do counter hit jump H, mix, fast RC jump H, and you can get a lot of damage and a lot of wall carry from that. But it's really hard to confirm. And now it's like really easy to confirm. Can't you already jump cancel jump S? Yeah, you can. Can we jump cancel jump H? Wouldn't that be funny? If that all makes it to Faust, we're giggling, I think. That's gonna be silly. Block. Remove the increased block stun caused upon successful faultless defense. Great. Great. This is good Faust buff. It will be easier for people to like counter poke after 2P and 5P, but we take those. I don't think that's a huge deal. Set amount of knockback for faultless defense. It'll be interesting to see what that does. Projectiles no longer negate the FD knockback. Yo, Wafflefish. Thanks so much. Thank you. Let's see. Characters no longer enter a blocking stance before a projectile makes contact. Uh-oh, that's a Faust buff. So now Faust can crawl backwards to go under projectiles. Wait. Maybe. Yeah, that might be a big oopsie on their part. That might be a big oopsie. They might have fucked up. If they didn't make changes to Ram and her projectile, that's gonna be a funny, yeah. they might have fucked up. That's funny. We'll see. We'll see. Maybe not. Maybe not. Added a difference in position height with the opponent to the conditions for entering a blocking stance before the opponent's attack. Okay. So you can't create proximity guard as easily as before. Yeah, so normally when a move like starts to approach you, your character goes into the blocking animation before the stuff even connects. So what you had to do to like crawl under Faust or Ram projectile, the sword toss, is you had to start crawling before it got to you. Faust crawls forward and backwards, depending on the, regardless of the direction he has two crawls, right? But the back crawl doesn't do anything because like once an attack gets close, he stands up and like gets big, right? Because he starts blocking. Before the move even attacks, he's pulled out of the crawl animation. But that doesn't seem to be the case anymore. Yeah, that's why back crawl doesn't work as well. Because of proximity block. So with proximity block gone... Yeah. Very silly. Guard Crush. The knockback caused by instant block and faultless defense will now change when guard crushed by the opponent's attack. When an attack hits an opponent in the guard crush animation, that attack is treated as the first move in a combo. I don't know what to make of those. This wasn't translated well enough? I don't know. They're not specific about what changes, so... Blah. They didn't say if it was better or worse. They just said it changed. I don't think it makes meteors better, but I don't think it makes meteors worse. Meteors are disgusting because it's like 6 hits one after another. I don't think they're buffing. I think it's a nerf. We'll see. Mogdra. 100-ton weight. Congrats. So this is very strange. Okay, we're gonna fast forward to Faust. Boop, 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 boop.
Krackatoa!
Here we are. We made it, everyone. So these changes are hilarious. These are the funniest fucking changes I've ever seen. These are so good. This is like Rev 2 level of changes, right? With jackpot items and fucking... goddamn, this is so funny. All right. Faust. Balance intentions. All right. Yo, Judge Judy, thanks so much. DJ Judge Judy. X Judy. I can't read your name, I'm sorry. There's so much going on. Thanks so much for the sub. And thank everyone for the follows as well. This is a very silly night. All right. This is good. This is good. I can't click. This isn't the website. This is a JPEG. Faust balance intentions. Love now has different properties when used while Faust is in Afro state. So I'm pretty... I actually asked this question to myself. Or this was like one of the first things I checked. It's like, does picking up the Afro make love better? Now it does. Now it does. So you throw like a big explosion now, right? When you have Afro, you can just jettison your own Afro as like a super charged up projectile. And apparently it doesn't connect with Faust. So it's a opponent only explosion, which is insane. Like that's crazy good. So that's like, that's ridiculous. All right. The properties are stronger as the explosion will only hit the opponent, making it beneficial for Faust either to take the Afro item himself or for the opponent to take it when it appears via what could this be. This is so good. This is so good. This is like insanely good. Like it's because like Faust picking up the Afro was really, really bad for him. Like it's insanely bad, right? And now the fact that he can like just throw it is like great. Does that mean you can instant jump 2K into Afro Love? There's still a big gap, so no, I will say no. Yeah, this is super good. Alright, changes to the donut and banana make it more likely to receive a beneficial item when repeatedly using what could this be. So what could this be got buffed? Crouching S has been greatly buffed as a preemptive anti-air, making his anti-air capabilities greatly improved when combined with the ability to follow up on 6P. So it's not that he can chain from 6P to Crouching S, it's that the Crouching S got buffed, which makes it a great supplement to 6P. Because the overall balance changed to damage distribution, the damage caused by Snip 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 is less impacted by the opponent's character and current health. So I think Snip 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 now bypasses Guts more. It does like more flat damage. That's what I get from this. But there are other buffs to Snip 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 that are more important that aren't in this initial blurb. And yes, we did get more Banana Oki. We got a lot more Banana Oki. Okay, spin of the wheel for Mog Draws and Skull Crusher. You know, you got an Afro, Mog Draws. Skull Crusher, you got a Trumpet, 2-2. Alright. Dash. Reduce the upper hurt box directly after the animation starts. This is a humongous buff. Y'all don't understand how important this is. So, in the Eno matchup, the start of your forward dash could get clipped by wayward buttons, like HCL. HCL would hit you. Now you can start running, and you might actually low profile it on frame 1 of the dash, which makes movement way, way, way easier. It actually gets like way, way more dangerous for Eno if this is the case. In the Axl matchup, Axl doing 5P, now you can more easily get under his shit for forward dashing. Because Faust was just too tall before.
Krackatoa!
Thank you everyone for the follows. We got Arc Mandak, Antac 9, Exploding Fists, Harsh 1, YY, Eternal Sunshine. Thank you so much. Okay, so that's great. Fantastic. So we're gonna... I don't think this will let him go under low sword. It might, however, make it easier to go under the higher sword. But I'm not sure if that actually hits him from one of his dash. We'll have to see. I'd have to double check. But there are a lot of situations where this will just help. Because I've definitely been playing and like try to dash and eat shit for dashing because my hurtbox is too high. So this is a quality of life thing that I really, really, really like. Alright, standing 5p, reduced startup. Very good. Very nice. Being able to like have access to a 5-frame normal. And I don't think the frame data is changing. So like stagger 5ps are now buffed by a large margin. And counter poke 5p is buffed. This is just great overall. Oh, X-Cross, you want 2 spins? I see. You got a wash bin. And a bomb. Congrats. Yo, Antec. Oh, you were at Pinnacle? Hey. Yeah, we don't know what the startup is. They haven't told us. I would think it would be 5 frames. Either way, I don't think it's like a huge deal. Like 5 frames, 4 frames. It's not a big deal. Well, that's the thing, right? It's like, this is an Arxis patch. This is definitely an Arxis patch. There's so much. We haven't even gotten to close. We just got like a few in, and I'm already like, this is rad. Okay, crouching S. Increase base damage scaling. So it probably is scaled more heavily, which is okay. Decrease the upper hurtbox during the end of the active frames. So now it's more disjoint. So now it'll work on a lot more things, which is good. There will be a lot of situations where this will actually work as an anti-air, where it didn't before. Mix. Each of them. Faust is no longer in a counter hit state when after the active frame ends. Increase base damage scaling.
Going my way.
So wait, when they say increase base damage scale, it already had a lot
right.
of damage scaling. Yo, Doc Bob, thank you so much for the 5-month resub. Jesus Christ, why are you still here? That's wild. I think I said that last month. I'm always shocked. I'm always shocked. Thank you for supporting the stream. Yeah. So maybe it's is it a damage nerf or damage buff? Is this like poorly translated? Does anyone know? Whatever. It's okay. It's not a big deal. I don't think like the fact that it hasn't like I don't think it's a huge like you get less damage, but you're going into the only time you're doing like mix is a starter, right? Is to do like dumb like cross up mix stuff or as a frame trap. So I honestly don't think it's like a huge deal to lose this damage. Yeah, it's only when it applies when it's the starter. Yeah, not a big deal. Donut. Lowered the chance of a donut appearing when there is donut only on the screen. This is great buff for Faust. Big buff. So the fact that this, and lowered the chance of a banana appearing when there is already a banana on screen. When throwing an item, there's now a set chance that the banana will be a banana peel. Also good. This will lead to some weird banana oki stuff that we'll have to figure out. So wait, the Japanese is a bit different? Yeah, what does it say? Zynak with the assist here. Anyways. Snip. The decrease the horizontal distance the opponent is sent flying back. Very good. Reduced recovery. Very good. The opponent will no longer enter Afro state due to an item effect during this move. Also, good. I think this is good. If this doesn't stop you from reapplying Afro, very good. MF Goki, spin of the wheel. You got chocolate bar. Great. So, the reduced recovery on Snip is the big deal. Is a huge deal, okay? So there's a lot of characters where Faust can't safely do like air dash jump D to like the Afro. And he can't safely do air dash jump H. Base damage is heavier. God damn it. So yeah, all right. I don't think that's the case to Fat Man. It says due to an item effect, but that doesn't say anything about like actually like landing Snip again. Anyways. Oh, base damage scaling is heavier. Okay, yeah. We're good. We're good. Either way, I don't think it's like a huge deal. So Snip getting reduced recovery means there's a bunch of safe jumps unlocked. You can now safe jump both Leo and Soul, which makes a huge difference in this matchup. So Faust could not safe jump 7-frame reversals with jump H in pre-patch. So now that... but he could safe jump 8-frame reversals. So now, if they reduce even the recovery by even 1 frame, he now has safe jumps for all characters. Which is like a big deal. So getting guaranteed pressure on Soul and Leo, both, changes those matchups like drastically. Before, Faust simply could not go in on those characters without like risking their lives. Yeah. Oh, for the mix, Faust is no longer a counter hit state after the active frame ends. So he was counter hit punishable after active frames were done. And now it does less damage. That's it. What is a safe jump? You'll have to Google that. Just hit on YouTube. YouTube is like real good for this. What is safe jump fighting games? They'll explain it. It's essentially you aim to hit them meaty on their wake up, and you recover before their reversal hits you, right? Like you would whiff through an invincible move. There's no hitbox on them. So you land just before the reversal connects. But if they didn't reversal, you hit their block. Oh yeah, there is a glossary here. I actually have a glossary safe jump. Boom. We're good. So you can normally get safe jumps off Snip, but not for all characters. There was too much recovery. Now the recovery is reduced. So now Faust can get deeper into his jump arc to get a safe jump. Love. The properties now change when activated while in Afro state. Okay, big fro power. Faust now remains in counter hit state until the end of the animation. Oh, fuck. Okay, that's bad. That's not good. But that's okay. That's like... How do I feel about that? Yeah, it is fair. But that is quite the nerve. But that's okay. Afro extended the time until it disappears after touching the ground. That seems like a buff for Faust now. No longer enters Afro state during certain animations. I wonder what that means. I wonder what that means. We'll see. What could this be? Decrease the recovery. We'll take it. We'll take it. Okay. Well, that's it. So in summary, Faust got buffs. Big buffs. All the universal stuff, I think, buffs him. We'll see what the other characters get, though, right? Is Item Super viable now? Item Super is more viable than ever before. Because all you have to do is just throw one donut and one banana, and then your potency of items goes up. Right? So these are all big buffs. His offense got better. His defense got better. His neutral got better. Anti-airs got better. Air-to-airs got better. Everything got better. So, yeah, it's going to be nuts. And just pulling items one after another in neutral is better now. So, maybe I should introduce each character, right?
Soul Badguy. Balance intentions.
There. We did it. One major point is that we have changed how Bandit Revolver functions. While originally it could only be followed up on hit automatically, the follow-up hit can now be performed via manual input, regardless of the situation. Okay. Now it can be used in more ways, such as maximizing the reward of a counter hit from normal moves such as crouching S, yikes, as well as other uses outside of combos. In accordance to changes to 6P and Bandit Revolver, the wall bounce effect of 6P in the stage corner has been removed. Soul has access to major damage when he lands clean hit Volcanic Viper. However, the high damage and practicality of 6P Volcanic Viper in the stage corner was so strong that there was no need to use other combo routes. Okay. I don't think that's probably a nerf, but I don't know how big the nerf is. Bandit Bringer can now be followed up on counter hit. This is fine. This is okay. I'm not too bothered by this. Because you're not supposed to get counter hit by that move. If you do, you deserve it. I say that, but I'm going to be real sad when I get counter hit by that shit. Okay, 6P nerf. Remove the wall bounce. And easier to combo from. So that'll be interesting. So it's probably a much better mid-screen tool now, which is scary, but very good. 6H. Soul is no longer in a counter hit state after the active frames of the attack. Well, that's good for him, I guess. Fuck. So this means like whiff punishing with like dive kick is worse, stuff like that, right? 6H, not being counter hit recovery, but I think that's okay, right? Because we got buffs across the board, right? So I'm not too worried. You know, Communist Carl. And you got a jump pad. Congrats. But yeah, 6P, no more wall bounce. Bandit Revolver. The second hit can now be performed with the K button. This is a little scary because it almost feels like you could frame trap off of it now, which is like kind of wild when you think about it. It's just another layer to pressure. So we'll see. We'll see how it goes. That's the thing I'm more scared of, other than like the combo route. Oh, lowered attack level though. Okay. And he can counter hit with it. So it'll be he'll be able to like frame trap off this probably, which is like interesting. Grounded Bandit Revolver, reduced startup time. All right. Bandit Bringer now triggers counter effect. Night Raid Vortex, increased base damage scaling. Okay. Fafnir, increased base damage scaling. Great. Face down, knockdown, expanded hurt box above. All right. Sure. So he got a nerf to his corner damage. These are probably buffs, but nothing too crazy. And here's the thing, right? The universal mechanics do not favor Soul. Any character that has their offense based around throw mix-ups and like these sort of like committal frame traps, or not committal frame traps, but these like kind of like straightforward frame traps, are being nerfed by everything else. So Faultless Defense getting buffed is a big nerf to Soul. I wouldn't say the same thing for Faust, because Faust gets invisible high-lows upon applying his command grab. He has a command grab. And his, like, his strings he does to pressure, they're not structured like Soul in so much, right? Soul wants to do, like, close S, dash close S. You know, he really wants to rebuy situations. But with the buff to Faultless, it's harder for him to reestablish pressure, and Faust couldn't really reestablish pressure well to begin with. His stuff, where his potency was in, like, move properties not really relevant to FD so much. But we'll see. We'll see how it goes. And we'll see. I want to see how the guard crush changes affect things.
Kai Kiske. Balance intentions.
Kai greatly benefits from the buff to projectile special moves. It is now easier to take control of neutral by using Stun Edge as a poke. That's very scary. You want to think of projectiles as long, disjointed pokes that can't be whiff punished easily, right? Think of it as like a really long sweep, or like Faust 2H is very similar to a projectile. So a buff to that projectile means like Kai's mid-range footsies get much stronger, right? So we'll see. We'll see how it goes. We had previously intentionally set relatively high recovery for projectiles to prevent making their ability to lock the opponent down too powerful. This resulted in Stun Edge having limited use, which was a stressful element of playing Kai. We have reduced the overall length of the action while maintaining the original lockdown capabilities of the attack, making it easier to use in neutral. We have also increased the chip damage on block, making it more rewarding to make the opponent block Stun Edge in neutral. We have increased the benefit of using Dragon Install due to its comparatively low damage as an overdrive. Alright. So Stun Edge buff is a big buff for Kai. Now, this is a huge buff. Chip damage buff. Stun Edge buff. Well, they all got increased startup, but I think that's okay. Reduce the recovery means it's going to be more plus on block and more plus at a distance. So he's going to have a much stronger control of neutral at mid-range if you block a single Stun Edge, right? Blocking Stun Edge is now way worse. You might actually lose the ability to punish a subsequent Stun Edge if you block a Stun Edge at mid-range. So he's going to get real good. Charge Stun Edge. Very good. Fudra Art. Nerf? That's okay. Especially because like people are going to be jumping more to like get over Stun Edge. So Fudra Arc this might be like a preemptive nerf, because Fudra Arc against jumps has always been like, it's like a you are now plus and in as Kai, right? Sacred Edge. Increase the movement speed. Alright, good. Shock State. Increase chip damage of special moves and overdrives during Shock State. That's really strong. A 6H, sorry. Kai is no longer counter hit state after the active frames of the attack. Good. Very good buff. He needed that. That was just kind of dumb, right? Dragon Install. Increased damage. The activation is now a more powerful attack when used during Shock State. Alright. While activated. Increased chip damage of special moves and overdrives while Dragon Install is activated. Okay. So these are good, solid buffs for Kai. So we'll see how he does.
May. Balance intentions.
Yeah, hit stop is reduced. So we'll see. Oh, that does mean less overall hit stun? Alright. Oh, you're right. Yeah, that's true. But he might have gotten a drastic recovery buff, right? So, we'll see. May, balance intentions. These balance changes increase the return of landing aerial attacks. Combined with additional Gatling routes for aerial normal moves, this greatly develops aerial combos. I'm terrified. We adjusted the hit effects of Uncharged 6S as it was not commonly used and less rewarding than her other normal moves. Now, due to now being easier to follow up on and overall damage increase, we have removed the wall bounce effect. Oh, good. However, her combos in the stage corner remain powerful, as it is now easier to combo from her sweep into Mr. Dolphin vertical. Previously, the counter strategy to Mr. Dolphin horizontal has been to beat it with fast moves such as standing P. However, in order to prepare more counters to lunging attacks, it is now more likely to lose to 6P as well. Guys? Do you know what that means? Do you know what that means? You might be able to crawl it. We might be able to crawl Dolphin. We'll see. We'll see. So she might have got like fucking this matchup just got real good. We'll see. We'll see. We'll see how that goes. Dang. We might not. It might not be the case. It might not be the case. We'll see. Okay. So sweep creates less distance from the opponent on hit in the stage corner. Okay. Keeps them closer. 6P now floats the opponent up higher. Easier to combo from 6P, but remove the wall bounce. 6H sends the opponent flying upon grounded hit. Reduce the amount of risk level decrease. Reduce the amount of combo blowback scaling increase. Okay. So got buffed. Jump S. May is no longer in a counter hit state after the active frames of the attack. Alright. Reduce the hitbox on Dolphin. It made vertical Dolphin a better anti-air. Alright. That's fair. Increase the distance from which the attack can connect. That's interesting, though. So. Interesting.
Axl Low. Balance intentions.
Axl benefits greatly from the overall changes to fast normals and aerial attacks. As an example, on counter hit, his jump S can be followed up on using an air dash cancel.
Krackatoa!
I think that's fine. Is that fine? How do I feel about that? How do I feel about that? I'm not sure. As his options after landing an attack are now more powerful, we have revised the function of each of his normals, so players must use each of his aerial normals for distinct purposes. Okay. I just read down. Fuck yes. This matchup just got a lot better, I think. Shit. Alright, so the big issue with dealing with Axl was that you could only challenge his jump S with 6P because this is the first GG pretty much, or like the first recent GG where Axl normals are completely disjoint. That's no longer the case, it seems. So his jump S being disjointed was like a huge pain in the ass. His 5P being disjointed was a huge pain in the ass. It still looks like his 5P hasn't gotten changed, but that's okay. Alright, dash. Reduce the upper hurt box right before the animation starts. Air throw. Fixed a bug where the forced base damage scaling would not be applied. Okay. Crouching K. Reduce startup. Crouching S. Increase base damage scaling. That's a buff for Faust, right? If it does less damage. 6p buff. Easier to combo from. Jump S. Increase startup. Reduced active frames. Expanded hurtbox in the front. Fuck Axl. He's boned. That's a big nerf. Eat shit, Axl.
Eat shit. Eat shit.
Octopimp is in the dumpster now. Sadly. Alright. Jump H. Reduced hitbox in front and behind. Increased knockback. Okay. Well, that's a nerf. Sounds like it. Jump D. Reduced active frames, reduced hitbox, and hurtbox. Yeah. So Jump D got made smaller. And it's less active, which I feel is a nerf. Because that means he needs to land deeper before he has to travel deeper before he inputs it, making it easier to anti-air. So I think that's a nerf. Sickle Flash. Axl is now in a counter-hit state until the animation ends. Increased clash level. This is a big buff for Faust. Rainwater. Axl is no longer in a counter-hit state after the active frames of the attack. Okay, that's a buff for him. Sickle Storm. The projectile no longer reduces the number of attacks to the opponent when it hits anything other than the opponent. Okay. Anyways, so this change to Jump S drastically changes the matchup. This is like a big deal. So that's crazy. I think this matchup's gonna get a little better for Faust. We'll see, because like Faust benefits a lot from the same dash buff that Axl got. Faust got. So I think that's gonna be big, because like nerfing this Jump S and increasing the power of movement benefits Faust. So yeah, I think Faust is doing good.
Chipp Zanuff. Balance intentions.
Maybe I should just leave the voice on. Alpha Blade is now easier to use in combos and strings. Combined with changes to Crouching H, he now has more options to lead into combos mid-screen. Due to these changes and the ability to follow up after bounding off the stage corner, he has access to greater reward. His mix-up, however, has somewhat increased startup as it was overly influenced by individual reaction times and play environments. Ooh, poor Chipp. Oh, poor Chipp.
Better luck next time, kiddo.
Get fucked, Chipp.
Get fucked, Chipp.
So, Crouching H decreased the...
Don't let anyone tell you this was not a family-friendly stream.
Krackatoa!
All right. Hotwing720, thanks for the follow. Okay, I'll read it in my radio voice.
Crouching H. Decrease the horizontal distance the opponent is sent flying back. Jump H. Chipp is no longer in a counter-hit state after the active frames of the attack. Alpha Blade Diagonal. Increased startup. Adjusted the movement speed and blowback. Adjusted the movement speed and blowback when bounding off the stage corner.
Alright. Well. Here we go. So Crouching H. Decrease the horizontal distance. So it's like combo tool now. It's just a combo tool thing. Easier to combo into Alpha Blade. I don't think this is like a big deal. Jump H. Chipp is no longer in a counter hit state after the active frames of the attack. This makes it less risky to throw out. But honestly, with the buff to 6p and 2s from Faust, I think Faust is laughing when it comes to anti-airing this character. Alpha Blade Diagonal. Increased startup. So his mix-ups got nerfed. Yeah. Yeah, Diagonal Alpha Blade just got nerfed into the ground, pretty much. Diagonal, though, reduced startup. And he's in a counter hit state until the active frames end. So it'll be interesting. Maybe he'll have something off aerial Alpha Blade. But that's still a big difference, right? Being able to, for him to be able to do it off diagonal grounded Alpha Blade, I think it's much more potent as an option. So if he's forced towards doing like the air version, it might leave him more open to counter play, where it just wasn't the case before. Yeah, they're not buffing the 6B hitboxes, but they're buffing the launch trajectory across the board. Patch notes are good. Patch notes are good. Thank you, GB Dog. Let's see. Shuriken. Increase the distance which the attack connects. Okay. Wall run. Chipp is no longer in a counter hit state during the animation. That's fair. Face down knockdown. Expanded the hurtbox upwards. All right. Okay. Well. So, the nerf to Rising Alpha Blade is a big deal. He didn't get his 6K changed, which is good. Like, Chipp was already... I still feel like Chipp is sort of like on life support as a character. Just because of how paper thin he is. But we'll see. He's still a good character. I just thought, like... He was like... Because how paper he is, and in how sky high the damage is in this game, it was always like, what the fuck?
Potemkin. Balance intentions.
Alright. In accordance with the general direction of making anti-airs easier to combo off of, his 6P can now be special cancelled, which is a major buff for him. And that is good. By cancelling it into Heat Knuckle, he can continue offense on hit and block. Very good. Very good. Standing Far S now connects into Slide Head on non-counter aerial hit. Okay. On the other hand, due to the changes to Faultless Defense, Garuda Impact has lost some of his ability to maintain his offense. That's a big nerf. That's a big nerf. So here's the thing, right? This weekend at Pinnacle, I was talking to SF about how I thought Potemkin was shit. And this was what I was talking about. I was like, the way I was kind of like, I had a bunch of hot takes, like back to back, in like one sentence. I'm like, Potemkin is garbage. When they remove guard impact, like he's gonna fall off the face of the planet. But it looks like they're doing a lot of work to like buff him back up after losing Garuda impact. So it's funny because like I said they were removing guard impact more or less. Like that's essentially what I said to SF, and they like gave me a look. Like who the fuck is this guy? Like, but I see all. I know all. Right? So, I thought that was funny. Like I said a lot of whack shit in that conversation because I was like mad tired. I like made a fool of myself in public. That's okay. But it turns out like everything came true in the patch notes. So whatever. I guess I'm like just fucking right about everything, right? Yeah, always FD Garuda. Far standing S, increased rolling time. That might be launch time. Pops them up on hit.
Krackatoa!
Standing H, reduce the hurt box in front. Very good. That's he needs this. He needs this a lot. With like the only thing saving Pot was the fact that Garuda Impact was so fucked up. And with the changes, like he needs a bunch of buffs now. He just has to have it. Yo, Jazz Production, our Jazz Productions. Thanks for the ball. Thanks for the follow. Okay. Where was I? 6P can now be special canceled. Big buff. Big buff. 6K, decrease the amount of risk level reduction. Interesting. Reduce the amount of combo bullback adjustment increase. So he looks like he's getting more routes. So he might actually have better ways to like carry the opponent and keep them in front. Yeah, DS bro. Yeah, you were right. That's what I was always saying too. Let's see. Jump D can now be special canceled when Potemkin lands. Very strong. This is insane. This is actually nuts. You're gonna have setups where you can like try to bait like a throw. Well, I mean, who would fucking try to throw pot? But like, you'll be able to like bait like with buttons, I think, in close potentially, or like when you corner them, you'll be able to do like jumping jump D. Well, yeah, not only into Mega Fists, but also into like tick grabs, right? So I think in the corner, this will be very strong. I'm not sure if it'll be as strong mid-screen. But yeah, jump D Pop Buster? That's wild. Yeah, jump D into Hammerfall? All sorts of stuff. So what you're going to do is you're going to use the jump D to go after backdash. And maybe like fuzzy jump, right? Because if you catch them fuzzy jumping, if they fuzzy jump into the jump D, then you're hella plus, right? Like that, whatever you do next is going to be tight. But we'll see. We'll see. Slide head. Potemkin is no longer counter hit state after the active frames end. The ground cracks no longer disappear during the active frames. What? Wait, is he just going to be able to like cover the ground in detritus? Okay, sure. I like that. Whatever. That's funny. FDB now triggers the counter effect. Now this is the flick, right? Pow. Triggers the counter effect. Great. Now reflects projectiles while holding the S button. That is actually really good. Increased base damage scaling. This is actually a huge deal because what you could do in neutral is you could actually like bait reflex. Like you could be like, you could do something that would like, you could throw something that was hard to reflect because the momentum or the distance was like weird or uncertain. And so there were ranges where you could actually like have him flick too early on a read or flick too late on a read. Hello, Ray. Welcome. So this is a huge quality of life thing for new players, and high level players will also be enjoying easy flicks. I was getting away with murder against a lot of like lower level pots. All right. Garuda Impact, increased base damage scaling. So it does less damage on hit now. Good. Fucking hilarious. Yeah, Ino is crying, I think. Just the, we'll see. Oh, Jwama loops. Thanks so much. Thanks so much for the raid. This is the magic of having a raid notification that you love. It's like, if someone raids me with a party of 6, I'm in like complete bliss. I'm like, I love that clip so much. It's my favorite clip on the planet, I think. Fucking love Dexter's Lab. Thank you for blessing me with the raid notification. I love it. I love it so much. Made my day. Okay. Heavenly Pop Buster. Increased distance from which the attack connects. Okay, good. Heavenly Pop Buster buff, he needs it. He needs it. Everything in here he needs right now because Garuda being like way weaker is like a huge deal. Gigantor Kai, reduce the hitbox of the projectile in front and behind. Okay, the interval before an attack can hit again after this connects with the opponent is now consistent. Alright. Okay. But that's a big nerf. So, Faust can now more easily teleport behind Pot, I think. So he's screwed. All right, Easygoing Dude 99 and Demon Monkey 77. Thank you so much for the follows. Good patch for Pot? I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how he got a lot of buffs, but the Garuda Impact nerf was like a big deal. So we're gonna see how his neutral pans out now, right? Like, is it like, because he got buffs to neutral, he got buffs to like overall, but yeah, but we'll see. We'll see. Anyways, Faust. I did Faust already. You can go to the start of the VOD if you want to see it. But essentially, Faust is just, like, way stronger now. Like, he got buffs out the wazoo. Out the wazoo. His wazoo is wazoozling. Just straight up. The dash buff is very good in certain problematic matchups where his forward dash could get clipped in startup. Eno, Axl, maybe Ram, a few others. So this is like huge for him. This is very good. The 5p buff, 6p buff, crouch S buff, mix got a small nerf to damage, not a big deal. But it also got a buff if it on block, I think. So that's crazy. His item toss got buffed. His Afro state got buffed, so when he gets the Afro, he's buffed. So now it's good for him to grab Afro instead of like awful, like super awful. He got a small nerf to love in that it's more punishable now, which is okay. Snip got a big buff in the reduced recovery. He can now probably safe jump Soul and Leo where he couldn't before. And also, there is a few... I have a document I made. I forget where I put it. It might be on my Discord. But... let's see... Did I pin it anywhere? I didn't fucking pin it anywhere. Whatever. We'll find it later. But I made a big list, a big master list of like safe jumps. And I'm going to have to update it. It's like a character-specific combo doc. Anyways, so he got buffs. He got buffs. Buffs. And his item toss super got buffed. Because, like, the change to Donut and Banana, like, doing less, like, coming out less often, like, once they've been duplicated, means it's, like item toss is just, like, surreal now. Like, you have more of a chance of getting Meteors. You have more of a chance of getting Chibi Faust. More of a chance of getting Afro, which is now buffed. Like, Hammer's buffed. Like, the fact that, like, dummy items like Donut and Banana, which don't really do much in neutral, being, like, reduced, means things are going to get crazy. It's good. Yeah. We'll see how the Geo pans out, because people are saying she got hella buffs.
Millia Rage, Balance Intentions.
All right. Her special moves have been buffed overall due to Mirage and Turbo Fall becoming special cancelable. What?
Going my way!
What the hell? Robib? With 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 gift subs. Holy shit. Wow. Thank you so much for the support.
Going my way!
Thank you so much. Welcome, Vortex 101, Zamper, Sleepy Peepo, Aqua FGC, and a Kevbot. You might have just gifted a sub to a bot. How do you feel?
Way.
Dang, man. Thanks so much. It's going into my burrito fund. We'll see. Okay, so holy shit.
Going my way!
All right. Everyone give a big thank you to Robin. Thank you so much. We're working our way to
Going my
Faust
way.
Jam emoji. That's the goal. That's the dream. Once we get Faust Jam emoji, we've made it, right? Whenever they add animated emojis to like the plebs.
Krackatoa!
Or if they make me partner. We'll see. We'll see. Yeah, I'm sure Nage's getting hype over the patch notes. He would be. Item toss, like, there's so much fun shit that just got added to Faust. Like, it's silly. It's silly. So, but this is scary. Turbo Fall becoming special cancelable? Very interesting. She can back air dash cancel moves. That's sick. Millia's getting some juice. Yeah. There might be some left-right juice. Yeah, we'll see. Many characters gained access to forward dash air dash cancels for their aerial attacks. However, only Millia has gained access to aerial backdash cancels, which mainly strengthens her mix-ups. Previously, her standing far S would beat most characters 6p. However, this has been made more difficult due to the buffs to the situation after it hits. The hurt box has been reduced to match this change. Okay. The changes to Mirage and Tandem Top make it easier to get a higher return. 6k can now be special canceled. Good. That's fine. That's fair. Combos into Luck Shaker and other moves. That's fine. That move's like slow as fuck anyways, right? Standing far S. Reduce the lower hurt box and hitbox. Okay. Crouching P. Decrease startup. Okay. She needs that. That's good. Yo, and Shrugs and Certified Smug. Thanks for the follows. 6p. Decrease the horizontal distance the opponent sent flying back. Very good. 6k can now be special and super canceled. Opponent is forced into crouching state on grounded hit. No longer expands Millia's push box, preventing the opponent from being pushed away during the animation. Very good. She needs it. She needs it. 6h. Reduce startup of the second hit. Alright. Yeah, that's actually fair. I think that makes it tight now, maybe? Yo, thanks for the follow. I can't pronounce that. I'm sorry. I don't speak Korean. I apologize. But I welcome your presence. You're cool in my book. Alright. Jump normals. Backdash cancelable. Turbo Fall. Can now be cancelled mid-animation with some special moves. Millia is no longer counter-hit state during the animation. Alright. That sounds like a buff. They'll probably find some heinous shit for her to do with that. Reduce startup on tandem top. Okay. Fix the bug which caused unnatural behavior under certain circumstances. Okay. Mirage. Can now be cancelled mid-animation with some special moves. Millia is no longer a counter-hit state during the animation. Adjusted movement speed. Reduce the length of time during which she can phase through the opponent. This is scary. This is probably the scariest thing. I thought this move was hella fake. I thought it was super, super, super fake. We need a spin of the wheel for UV Blue Man and IMC Jebs. Blue Man. We got Chibi Faust. And Chibi Robo for IMC Jebs. There we go. I think Mirage is the command dash, right? Little teleport dash. So that getting weird buffs where she can actually trap during it is a big deal. That's like huge. Because like, yeah, the not roll. So. Lush Shaker. Added knockback. Expanded lower hurt box and hitbox. Fixed the bugs which caused unnatural behavior under certain circumstances. Okay. So. That means she can't like, yo, Libna, thanks for the prime. Appreciate it.
Thanks so much, buddy.
That's good. Winger. Expanded the lower hitbox while ascending. Alright, that's fine. So, she has a stronger offense now. Once you've blocked everything, she still has offense available to her. The thing about Millia is once you blocked like one of her strings completely, she couldn't really do anything to reestablish herself. Like her offense was actually like pretty sad. And that's not the case anymore, especially if she has meter for RC. She can take another pot shot at your defense RC and go back in, thanks to these changes to Miraz and the rest of her shit. Yeah, no crawl on Winger, I guess. Oh.
Krackatoa!
Zato 1, Balance Intentions. Osvaldin, thanks for the follow. And Kotzi May Cry, thank you so much.
All right. The amount of Eddie gauge expended for command inputs while Eddie is summoned has been decreased. Good, he needs it. Although Zato will perform motions on activation as well, this opens up new potential setups with Eddie. Yeah. The range of Invite Hell has been improved, as it would often fail to connect when cancelled into from normals. Yeah, he needs this. 6K can now be special cancelled to distinguish its use from Dust Attack. Very good. Its startup is longer, making it easier to block, but Zato faces less risk using it solo, and can follow up with further setups while using it in tandem with Eddie. Very good. These are actually very, very, very important changes. I think it makes the character more fun. I think he needs it. Yeah. Like, after I did the Killing Eddie breakdown video on my channel, on my YouTube, EddieMustDie.mp4, I was like, wow, this guy's kind of sad. This is a sad character. Especially with the forward dash change buff. I think you can dash under Frog far more easily now. You can even 2S it, probably. General consensus on soul changes. I think he got hosed by the universal changes. I think he's overall weaker. He lost some of his corner damage. But he did get a couple like little fun buffs. So we'll see. But the Faust matchup got way better for Faust Soul. So Faust is now stronger against Soul. So that's good. It might be 6-4 now. Might be even. Who knows? We'll see. We'll have to see. Okay, reduce the upper hurt box directly after the animation starts. That's good. Standing P, decrease startup. Very good. 6P, decrease the horizontal distance the opponent is sent flying back. He needs this. This is very good. 6K can now be special canceled and super canceled. And he can do shit off of it with Eddie. Very good. Because like before he could do the negative edge stuff involving 6K, but he couldn't actually like special cancel it, right? So now he can. So now he can just do like raw 6K and make something happen off of it. Eddie, reduce the amount of gauge spent when controlling Eddie with quarter circle forward attack button while Eddie is summoned. Very good. I think that's super fair. Invite Hell expanded the hitbox in front and behind. Very good. He needs this. Sun Void, all versions, no longer reduces the number of attacks to the opponent when it hits anything other than the opponent. Okay. No, I thought like Soul Faust was like a garbage matchup. But that's just me. Now it's different. All right.
Ramlethal Valentine, Balance Intentions.
All right, so this is where we see if Ramlethal falls off the face of the earth in the Faust matchup. Because a bunch of shit happened to Faust, which potentially made this matchup like way better for Faust. And I already thought it was pretty even. So she's going to need a lot of buffs. Due to the reduction of knockback for standing far S, it's easier to connect into Daro on cancel. This is a buff for Faust. The increased knockback to standing H makes the situation after hit similar to how it was previously after landing standing S, standing H. Okay. Well, then that's even. The properties of jump H and jump D have been adjusted to the large benefit gained from additional Gatling rounds. Right. Okay. Due to being an overhead, it was difficult to buff Slido Detruo and it was useful in limited situations. By making it a mid, it can now be used more freely in neutral and in strings. That's the hop, right? Yo, Ranma. I'm just reviewing some patch notes. And Anubis needs a spin of the wheel. Trumpet, toot toot. And one for anti-faction action. Yeah, fireworks, congrats. And big Chilskis. You got an oil drum. Congratulations. All right. So it's a mid. I wonder what it is on block. We'll see. When dash canceling Earl Lumo, Earl, which is the quarter circle back P, the initial dash startup can now be special canceled, opening up potential strings. Okay. That is technically a buff, but for Faust, that's not a big buff, right? Because Faust has Crawl. Crawl goes under Sword Toss. Okay. Good. I have gone over the Faust changes, yes. Can they just do Earl again? Maybe. Maybe. But we'll see. We'll see. Since canceling from standing far S or crouching S makes a tight block string, this means you can launch powerful offense after making the opponent block a grounded poke. Okay. Fixed the bug. Dash got buffed. Okay. The far S, far H string got changed. 6P makes the opponent float higher. That's okay. Jump at H. Increase startup. Increase knockback. Buff for Faust. Jump D. Increase knockback. Okay. That might be a buff for Faust. That might be a buff. If it's harder to convert off of, that's actually a buff for Faust in this matchup. Like a nerf. We'll see. Because, like, now she can chain from, like, error normals. So, shit might just get a little heinous for her. We don't know. We don't know necessarily. Bajonito, Banjo. Fix the location on the ground where it will be set after touching the stage corner. Okay. After sending out the sword, if Ramlethal takes damage before it reaches the stage corner, the sword will no longer explode when it reaches the stage corner. So this is actually really good, because there were situations where items would like connect with Ram and she'd still be able to combo. That's not the case anymore. Now the sword is just like disabled, right? And it's going to be stuck there on the ground. So this limits what Ram can do necessarily, like with sword tosses. They're going to trade less, which is very good. Daro, increased base damage scaling. So I think it got nerfed. The little hop. Changed from an overhead to a mid. Reduced base damage scaling so it does more damage. Expanded the lower and behind hitbox. So it now can hit behind the head. Before, you could actually like walk forward to get it to whiff. You can't do that anymore. So you're going to have to challenge it with like 5k or 2k. Or she rebuys pressure so she can go back in. Adjusted the movement speed and blowback. Reduced recovery. Opponent is now forced into a crouching state on grounded hit. Added a wall bounce effect. Is that the same? Did they goof here? Or is it just more stuff? Oh, right. Oh, right. Just the ground version. Okay. Yeah. Makes sense. Hello, Helix. Yeah. So this getting buffed is still... Oh, yeah. Aerial now adjusted the movement speed and blowback, decreased recovery. So this is going to be harder to deal with, but I think with Faust buffs, I think it's going to be fine. I think it's going to be okay. It's just going to be, like, scarier. Especially because, like... So there's a universal mechanics change where... swords might not cause proximity guard, which means Faust can crawl under swords by holding down back now. Which means going under swords is like hella free. Potentially. I can't confirm this, right? Because it's just these notes. So we'll see. We'll see when the patch drops. Sobrobato. Increased base damage scaling. Alright. Okay, Earl. This is our 214p string. Can no longer be dash cancelled on whiff. Alright. That's good. This means FDing might fuck her up. When Roman Cancel is activated while dash canceling this move, it will now be a blue Roman Cancel. Very scary. Can now be special cancelled only immediately after dash canceling. First hit, increased attack level. Fuck. Reduce startup. Fuck. Reduce recovery. Fuck. Adjusted blowback. Alright. Sped up the timing when the follow-up is buffed. Added dash cancel, increased attack level, reduced startup, reduced recovery, adjusted buff. Remove guard crush. Alright. Good, that's fair. Buffed. So they're all buffed to work better. But the guard crush is gone, which is very good. So this will be easier to defend against. FD's going to work a lot better. You're going to probably have to take like a situation after, especially if she has meter. But I think she's going to need this with the general mechanics changes. We'll see. Calvados. Increased clash level, reduced recovery, added guard crush effect to the final hit. Alright. That's a buff. So overall, change is good for her, but we'll see how the universal systems nerf her, and we'll see how the Faust changes stack up. Super PRC is removed? Did it say that? I didn't see that anywhere. Overdrive. Fix the bug where it is possible to activate Roman Cancel at the same time as the Super Flash under certain conditions. I don't think that's it. I don't think they removed it. That's not what that translates into. Alright.
Leo Whitefang. Balance intentions.
Alright. What do you got? The timing he can cancel into guard point follow-up moves has been sped up due to the long overall recovery of standing far S and standing H. 6H can now be comboed into from crouch S, counter hit, and other moves. Changes. Standing far S. Sped up the timing when it can be followed up with command normal 4. Okay. Standing H. Sped up the timing. So his like parry stance, right, is getting buffed, which is cool. 6P buff. 6H buff. Just better overall command normal shenanigans. Could be fun. Jump S buff. Probably got a buff to his air options, right? Now that he can go in off of jump H, jump D, or whatever. We'll see. Oh, wait. I forget what it... Was he as part of the exceptions? In the... It was Kai and who else? Didn't get the... Oh, it was Kai and Jacko that didn't get changed. So he might be able to do some fun stuff. So we'll see. I forget what these moves are. Increased startup on Zweit's Kalt's Gestuber. I don't remember which one that is. Cross up. Got an increased startup. Oh, thank God. I was already grabbing that though. So this just makes it easier. Perfect. All right. Well, he still seems strong. But we'll see. We'll see what faultless defense changes do to him, right? Oh yeah, they're taking away the meaty left-right, right? That's good. Good for me. All right.
Nagoriyuki. Balance intentions.
Shizuru Yuki has been greatly changed from its former function. The downward swing can now manually be activated by an H button input. That's his up swipe, right? Up swipe, down swipe. With the buffs to the startup time, it's now easier to use as an anti-air punish. That's a buff. Zarameyuki is now a powerful option in neutral and strings at mid-range. Grounded throw. Fixed a bug where force damage scaling would not be applied. Yeah. Aerial throw. Adjusted descent timing. Okay. 6P. Reduce the horizontal distance the opponent is sent flying. Makes them float up higher. Very good. Blood Rage. The hitbox can no longer clash and be reflected. Zarameyuki. Reduce startup. Increase the movement speed of the hitbox. Unified the size of the clash range. Kamuriyuki. Increase base damage scaling. Shizuriyuki. Can now follow up the second hit by pressing the H button. Adjusted blowback. Reduce startup. The second hit now triggers a counter effect. Interesting. Zarameyuki is the projectile, right? Oh, yeah. Yeah, so it's the projectile. Alright, that's interesting. Okay, so Beyblade got a damage scaling nerf. Yeah, and his up slash and down slash gonna be more useful. Well, that's good. But I think with the changes to faultless defense in general. So here's the thing: Nagoriyuki hates jumping on defense, and the throw window getting bigger on defense means his defense got buffed. So I'm sure players like Hotashi are going to enjoy that kind of change. But I'm not sure how the general changes help him overall, right? Input speed changes could really hurt Nago, as that's how he takes his turn back against characters like Zato or Millia. Input speed. Oh, for the projectile. Right. Yeah. For the teleport attack. Yeah, so that sounds like a big nerf. So, yeah, here's the thing, right? Nagoriyuki doesn't deal with items well. And Faust just got a buff to item toss. And a buff to other stuff, right? So, like, Faust got mega buffs all across the board. So, we'll see. Okay, here we go. So this was what I was interested to see. How are they going to fix her? Because, like, if they had not changed Gio at all... Oh, hold on.
Giovanna, balance intentions.
So, without any changes, this character was going to get dumpstered. Because of the way her dash works and her defense being throw-centric, she would actually just, like, become ass tier, like, immediately, like on patch day, if they didn't do stuff. So, she can now quickly perform normals after her dash, greatly improving her neutral setups and strings overall. Crouching S would sometimes whiff oddly, depending on the opponent's character after a counter hit, so we improved its range. Alright. Sol Nascente works better against aerial attacks, while now being more likely to lose to ground attacks. Thank God. Fuck. That helps a lot. That helps so much. Sol Nascente is the fucking flip kick, isn't it? The one where she's like does a cartwheel backwards. It was such a pain in the ass to deal with. Because at -3, or at -2, you couldn't 2P it. It was actually surreal. It was just like the stupidest move to try and deal with. It was really dumb. Okay. Sped up the timing when it can be canceled into other actions. So the dash got buffed, but I think that's fine. That's like not a big deal, right? The deal is... We'll see. We'll see how this pans out. Because, like, the thing about the thing I'm talking, like, the thing that hurts her the most is the larger throw break window. So we'll see. We'll see what ends up happening. Standing K, adjusted blowback. Standing close S, increased knockback. That's a big nerf. Standing far S, decreased lower hitbox and hurtbox. I'm curious about what this does. Does this mean you can crawl under it? Huh. Crouching S. Expanded the upper hitbox. The second hit now triggers a counter effect. Alright. 6P now floats the enemy up higher. Sepultura. Increased base damage scaling. Travail. That's her flying kick. Increased scaling. DP is nerfed. Now floats the enemy when any hit other than the final one hits the grounded opponent. So bug fix, pretty much. Okay. So I think the general mechanical changes will nerf her quite a bit, but we'll see. I think the like overall changes to this game might have hurt her quite a bit, but we'll see. Because her air dash, like if she touches you with like an air normal, I think she gets more crazy stuff now, doesn't she? We'll have to see. Will this make Geo less boring to fight? I don't know. I don't know how you judge boredom, right? So, I think she's plenty fun to fight. That's the thing. I don't know what your litmus is. Faust changes good. Items good. Everything good. No, I hate fighting Geo. I love fighting Geo. I just think it's a bad matchup. But I think it's much better now. So we'll see.
Going my way.
Emperor Duke King subscribed at tier 1. Anji Mito, Balance Intentions. Thank you for subscribing.
Appreciate it. Welcome. All right. So we have revised the properties of Shih Tzu so that it can be used outside of Oki. It can be cancelled into from normals and used at mid-range more easily. Interesting. Oh shit. Dustloop is dead. Oh, it's back. Praise Dustloop. Butterfly. His standard throw has also been changed in accordance with Shih Tzu, making it easier to carry the opponent into the stage corner. Okay, I think that means he can do some shit with it. We'll see. By making the startup of Fujin faster, it can now be linked into from far standing S and crouching S. He needs this. Ko is easier to use in combos and also stronger as an anti-air. Okay, good. As the second hit now causes guard crush, you can continue your offense now when the opponent blocks it. That's insane. Don't jump at Anji. Holy shit. That's fucked up. This is really good. So if he calls out like fuzzy jump with Ko, like he puts you back in the blender. That's crazy. We have addressed the problem where 6P would struggle to connect due to being shorter horizontally against other characters. Interesting. Okay, dash buffed. Grounded throw. Increase the horizontal blowback. Standing far S. Decrease the lower hitbox and hurtbox. So it means you can probably 6P or crawl under it. Alright. Crouching P buff. Very good. 6P buff. Very good. 6H. No longer counter hit. Very good. Shih Tzu. Reduced startup. Reduced recovery. Reduced hit stop on the first hit. Alright. All good. He needs this. Fujin buffs. Very good. Anji is no longer in counter hit during the animation of Isoku Tobi. Oh, which is this little hop from Fujin. Okay, that's fair. Ko added guard crush effect on the second hit, which is wild. Reduce the horizontal distance the opponent is sent flying back on the second hit. Also wild. Issei Ugi Sai can no longer clash. That's his super. And that's his counter super, isn't it? Maybe not. That's his projectile. Very good. Bonjour, Hydria. How's it going? So, big buffs for Anji. These are all very good. And with the overall buffs and balancing going on, he could be much more friendlier to play. Yeah, it's time for Eno.
I know. Balance intentions.
Standing Far S now works better as a preemptive poke. The hitbox has been expanded with a little change to the hurtbox. Although it doesn't lead to major direct reward, it works well as a poke against opponents who are watching for hover dash. Antidepressant Scale has been changed to be more useful in neutral while remaining strong as Oki. Good. She needs this. I think this character is not that good. Standing Far S. Reduced startup. Expanded hitbox in front. Okay. Good. 6P. Now floats enemy up higher for combos. Great. Antidepressant Scale. All versions. Increased startup. Okay. Reduced recovery. Very good. Increased movement speed of the hitbox. Very good. Reduced hit stop. All right. Sped up the timing when the number of attacks increases. Good. She doesn't have to send it as far. Made it easier to alter the trajectory, so more motion. Very good. So this is... That's pronounced... Yo, Hydria, thanks for the follow. So this is good, but this is a nerf against Faust. So I don't know how I know players are supposed to feel about this. Faust wants stuff to have more startup. They're easier to deal with. So once it's out, though, great. But the increased startup means that's bad. It's probably only like a couple of frames. But it probably makes like running Oki off her shit way, way, way stronger. So... Yeah, they are in the system mechanics. But for Faust, and the way air dash normals work, like, and jump cancels work and stuff, it's not like as crazy as you might think. It's good. It's still good. But I'm not like too scared of like having bonus air dash options. Yeah, so what they're doing is they're drastically increasing the number of hits this will do on Oki, meaning she might actually get more than one mix-up. But yeah, the universal changes are going to help her a lot. But I think in the Faust matchup, it's not going to matter as much. We'll see. We'll have to see. Like, this is from my perspective as Faust, not necessarily for the rest of the game. I don't know fuck all about other characters, right? I only know how they relate to, like, Faust and Faust interactions. So, I think, like, some of these things are like, Faust just doesn't really care as much. Especially because Faust is getting buffed. Right?
Oops, I hit the wrong button. Goldlewis Dickinson, balance intentions.
Alright. Using Aerial Behemoth Typhoon from an air dash allows him to move an extremely long distance, which combined with the changes to his forward dash hurtbox significantly improves his ability to approach from a distance. That's right, isn't it? As Skyfish was previously safer to use at a low security level, it is now possible to cancel the animation with an additional input to address this issue. The reduction of its startup also makes it powerful in both neutral and combos. Skyfish canceling. Very interesting. Very good. I like that. Crouching P buffed. 6P buffed. Aerial Behemoth Typhoon. Trajectory now changes when activated for above a set movement speed. This is fantastic for him. So she has movement now. This is a big deal. So Goldlewis has movement with BT. which is very good. It's going to make him much harder to deal with, I think, given the hitboxes on Air BT. So, we'll see. We'll see how it goes. Small buffs, but I think the general mechanical buffs to him might help him. But like the nerf to guard crush is going to it might negate some of the stuff he has already. So we'll have to see how that pans out. Spinning the wheel for Saiyajin X. You got the black hole. Cosmic.
Jack O. Balance intentions.
It is now easier for her to standing H to connect after the edge of far standing S hits. Alright. Changing inputs regarding her servants has made it easier to avoid accidentally performing other attacks while also improving ease of execution. She can now perform overdrives even while lifting a servant. Wow. She can now quickly punish the opponent with Forever Elysian Driver, perform new set play using Cheer Servant on. Whoa. Okay. Adjust movement speed on H. Travels forward further, I would imagine. Crouching S. Damage nerf. 6P. More comboable. Delayed the timing when the upper hurt box shrinks. Okay, so it might have got a nerf. We'll see. The servant's push box now disappears when the servants vanish, preventing the opponent from being pushed away. Fix the bug where the servants would behave unnaturally when Jacko attacks the servant under certain conditions. When Jacko activates Roman Cancel while lifting a servant, it no longer causes a purple Roman Cancel. Very good. That's a big buff, I would imagine. Yeah, these are all just input changes. Expanded the upper hurt box and hitbox of Servant Shoot. This is actually a nerf. Because now they're easier to connect. Faust might actually have options that more easily deal with Servant Shoot. But we'll see. We'll see. It's going to be much easier to deal with the servants. Cheer Servant on can now be activated even while lifting a servant. I think this is probably a big deal, but I don't know anything about Jacko. Forever Elysian Driver can now be activated even while lifting a servant. Increase the distance from which the attack can connect. Adjusted movement speed. Very good. So this is going to be interesting because she's going to be able to threaten things after doing Servant Kick, right? Oh, sorry. When I said Servant Shoot, which is the kick, expanded the upper hurt box and hitbox. That's a buff. And it can be canceled into overdrives now. I was thinking of the actual servant hitbox. Sorry. But this looks like it's just the kick attack. Anyways. So now she can like summon and still threaten stuff. So it's no like free lunch. Faust used to be able to like guaranteed like options after she would summon, and what she could do was very weak. Now she can at least threaten like some pretty strong stuff. Spinning the wheel for Code and KO with the 100-ton weight and Faffle. And got a coin. Congrats. Anyways, that's it. We did it all. We did it all. So Chibidon wants 2 spins. Black hole. And dumbbell. Very good. So we're going to take all of this. And you know what we're going to do now, all right? You know what we're going to do now, right? It's time. Where are these matchups? So these are my predictions for how Faust fares now. So this was pre-patch. This is what I thought the matchups were like. I thought Axl and Giovanna was pretty bad. Soul doable. Competitive were like these people. Good. Jacko, I don't know. Actually, this is what didn't really line up with what I expected. I think it was more like maybe this. Boop. Dude. Probably this. It's so hard to say. I think the matchups kind of looked like this. FD not increasing block stun anymore is like... Yeah. So, this is where we were. Okay. Soul was doable. I think it was like this. So. Yeah. I think if you could crawl under a Banjo on reaction, I think the matchup was very silly. You know, Zach W and UV Blue Man. Yo, you got a bomb? And Helium. Congrats. Alright, so what do we do now? Right? So I'm gonna go, let's jettison. Let's reset. Boop, 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 boop. Alright, yo, it's a new day. It's a new day. It's a new day. Okay. So, let's start with Geo. So, with the changes, the overall changes, I think it's going to end up here. I think that changes to FD neuters her offense a lot. I think the changes to throw neuters her offense a lot. And your overall buffs in neutral and on Oki as Faust in this matchup just got a lot better, especially with the changes to snip. So I think this matchup just got like way better. I used to think it was here with the overall changes. I think this shit is like down here now. I think she got hit the hardest out of all the characters. We'll have to see how she makes use of the universal changes. Yo, we have Havoc was taken in. Gay Blackmail, thank you for the follow. I appreciate your pridefulness. Anyways, what do we got? Problem character. Soul. Dumpstered. Ha! Faust now has safe jump opportunities off snip in this matchup, and FD getting buffed helps a lot. Like, this is a big deal. This is like, this is huge. I think like Faust's overall changes make his zoning better. His defense got buffed like by a huge chunk. Soul's throw-centric like offense got weaker overall, and Afro is now much better for you, whereas in like past, like before, it used to be like absolutely terrible. Overall, I just think like this matchup just got a lot better. We'll see how it goes. It could just be still up here just because of how good Soul is, but I think it might be here. This guy could be here. The changes that Faust got, Faust neutral got so much stronger because he can just like, I think in the Nagoriyuki matchup, Faust gets to pull more items than any other matchup, right? It's much easier for him to get going. Almond Ripley, thanks so much for the prime. I appreciate it. So I think the overall changes to Nago and the fact that he doesn't benefit from like the jump, like he only has a single jump and a single air dash. He doesn't have an air dash, right? So he doesn't even benefit from that shit. And so FD getting a buff means his like core offense might just be far weaker, And your ability to go out of control with items got much stronger as Faust with the item changes. What did Kai get? Kai got the buff to neutral. I think Kai's overall changes are still very strong. And I don't see anything necessarily that makes this matchup like so much better for Faust. A lot of the stuff Faust could do already is already good, but I think Faust's overall kit changes aren't like so crazy that it would affect this matchup all that much. The buff to Sun Edge from Kai makes this matchup harder to play. So I think overall Kai is just like that fireball buff is like a big deal. But we'll see. We'll see. The thing is, Faust has an access to dive kick, which is like the ultimate anti-projectile tool. So I don't think he's really affected by the nerf to air dash stuff or like the stronger fireball as much as other characters are. So I think it could be here. It could be here. I know. This is here. For real. Can't you back crawl stun edge now? It doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. I don't think. Because you could always forward crawl it, right? Because the thing is, you take all the time it takes to like crawl under it. Kai's still in like doing his thing in neutral, right? Like, any plans on a Nagoriyuki matchup vid? Yeah, probably. May. It might be here. If we can crawl under Horizontal Dolphin, she's fucked. This, I don't know. SF was doing some real heinous shit at Pinnacle with this character. So I think this character might get like really out of control. But I think with the changes to Faust, it might be like a decent matchup. Like Faust got really good changes for this matchup. The 2S buff was really good. The snip being buffed was really good. So this is probably here. If we can down back under Banjo, I think Ram is like screwed unless she ends up having some real like ridiculous stuff with the Earl cancels, right? So I think this matchup just got better, and your 2S got buffed, so you can more reliably anti-air now. I'm late. What happened? Faust buffs. Pot. This is a good matchup for sure. These are Faust matchups. Predictions for Faust matchups. Leo. I don't think he got enough to make this like that scary. The buffs across your kit make his life hell. Similar to Nagoriyuki, it's easier to get things out of control against Leo. Because his movement is kind of stumpy, right? So you can get out of control against this character, Pot. But Pot did get the reflection buff, so we'll see how it goes, but yo, SNK's 77. Doing pretty good. Yeah, and his cross-up attack got nerfed, which I didn't think was a big deal. I think I only got hit by like 3 of those all weekend. Oh yeah, we played in Bracket. Yeah, your character got dumpstered, boy. Dumpstered. I called it. Yeah. We'll see. We'll see if she can make use of any of the universal systems. But I think generally, like, she doesn't have dash block. She absolutely 100% has dash block. I can check that. We'll boot that up. We'll test it on stream, and you can tell me I'm a piece of shit. Dash actions were before frame 9? Oh, dang. Alright. Well, you got me. Still, I stand by my statement. Still very strong. Okay. Either way, Fine, you know what? I'll go here and say she's just like turbo bad now. Zato, good matchup. I think Zato got key buffs, but I think Faust does a real good job at disabling Zato. And because your items more easily go out of control now, shit is you are stronger in this matchup. I think the Faust buffs are stronger than the Zato buffs. Axl. This guy got nerfed. Hella nerfed. Big nerfs. Big nerfs. So this is probably like an even or competitive matchup now. I'm scared of Goldlewis, to be honest. But it's probably like a very good matchup for Faust, just because like innately, like he didn't get much in the way of changes. I'm not afraid of the 2K buff. No, I have like great anti-2K stuff. I'm not too worried. Faust doesn't really care too much about like how fast someone can press a button, because he doesn't. A lot of his like pressure extensions, yo, sad as hell, thanks for the sub. A lot of his pressure extensions don't rely on the fact that they have like a fast normal or not. Like Faust is normally like setting Afro. He's got dive kick. Like dive kick is your counter poke at like mid range, and the 2K doesn't do anything like that, right? Like if you're playing as Geo, it's a big difference, right? Because you've got to do like these like close S micro walk, close S, or like these stagger close S stuff. Faust doesn't do that. He can't. Usually he's like pushing himself back out to neutral if he doesn't get the hit. He doesn't really have like a good way to like, if he is challenging, like trying to rebuy pressure with like staggered close S, the button is irrelevant because he's only getting it if they press nothing, because his close S is so slow to recover. It's not plus, and he doesn't really have like, it's not as crazy, I guess. Anji, good matchup. Chipp, good matchup. Maybe with the changes, Millia still scares me. But with the buff to air counter hits, maybe here. So, this looks pretty good, doesn't it? Yeah, like I don't know enough about the Axl matchup yet. We'll have to see how it pans out. But the changes to Faust are so good. And the changes to Axl are in key areas where Faust was struggling, and those things got nerfed. So these are all like, I think these are all really good changes for Faust overall. So, why is Chipp down and good? He's made it out of paper. And he just got his left-right nerfed. And Faust just got hella buffed. Faust can now safe jump Chipp DP off snip. Potentially. That's a big deal. Like, imagine eating snip from Faust as Chipp, and now you have to eat a mix-up, a 50-50, that will delete your entire character. Like, holy shit. That's fucked up. Right? And I already thought it was a good matchup because Chipp was made out of paper. Right? They reduced the recovery of snip, which means Faust recovers sooner, which means he can now safe jump with jump H. Because he couldn't safe jump 7-frame reversals pre-patch. And now he might be able to. So this is more like a prediction based on what I understand about the game and the patches. I could be wrong about certain patch notes and then shit changes, right? But any thoughts on potential air combos? Jump H, air dash, jump H? Something like that? I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. Was there something about not reapplying Afro? I think they were talking about item interactions while Afro was going on. which was leading to some bugs. Yeah. Yeah, so I'm not too like crazy about the jump cancel or air dash shit because it's like it doesn't seem to me like a big deal. At least for Faust, because the gap between like if you air dash a normal, what your follow up is never tight. Yeah, Faust might be able to crawl under Dolphin. So maybe if that's the case, that matchup just got way easier. So she doesn't have good ways to rebuy pressure now without like doing it the old-fashioned way, which means you can just like delete her for trying it, and now you can actually like challenge her for more power, with more powerful options, I guess. Because like to challenge Dolphin, you had to do 5p, 6p, nothing, and you would get like you'd hit her out, but at what risk, right? If you got counter hit by like S Dolphin, you were fucking dead. And now you can react to both Dolphins with Crawl. That's a big deal. Yeah. So yeah. That's that. We got a spin from Tree Tape. Very good. Nice. Anyways, that's all I have to say about the patch, I guess. That wasn't bad. That wasn't too painful. So I think the matchups are like way nicer now. So we'll see. Any ideas on new air combos for Faust? Jump H, air dash, jump H. Afro explosion, air dash, jump H. Like jump D, Afro explosion, air dash, jump H. We'll see how that goes though. Like rising jump K, jump D, air dash, jump H. Continue pressure if they block. But we'll see. It's not tight, right? So yeah, I'm excited to see how you can Gatling, because if you can yeah, I'm just curious to see if this fixes Faust's issue where he can't really like hit crouching opponents very well. Yo, churro, very nice. Like if he can do jump S, jump D, or jump D into something else, we'll see. No, I don't know if he'll be the best character, but he seems strong. So these were all good changes and fun changes, right? Item toss got buffed, so you might get. So here's the thing, right? You want to spin the wheel of Yogg Saron, right? You want to summon Yogg. You know, sad as hell. Thanks for the prime. If I missed you. And Muscle Powers, Bri-Fi. Thanks for the follows. Any tips for hit confirms? Yeah. Just set the dummy to random block and then practice hit confirms. There's like counter hit confirms you can try, and yeah, you just training mode. Make sure you're doing hit confirms that are actually hit confirms and not like too fast to react to. And that's it, and then just practice it. Oh. You got a tweet?
Krackatoa!
Oh shit, they have a little... Very nice. Y'all can scope that out. But they're showing off the guard impact, or guard crush, sorry, on FD. That still looks kind of strong. But way weaker than before.
Going my
Yo,
way.
Swiggin, how have you been, bud? How you doing? Thanks for the sub. Yeah, faster 5P is a big deal. Dang, GGST is trending. Holy shit. Yo, and Munchies, thanks for the follow. Yeah, Goldlewis got buffs, so hopefully he'll still be working after the guard crush change might hurt him a bit, because he had some pretty heinous shit. But you know, for the wheel, we got peaks, jump pad, and Tuduket VVR dumbbell. Todoket ever. Ancient Mystic Wonder. Yeah, you got a wash bin. Alright. Salt Prophet. Take your spin. And you got a bomb. Yeah. There's some interesting Faust-only defensive tech you can do against Goldlewis, though. Like, if you can get Crawl into Just Frame Backdash, you can make them whiff. It's weird. It's a weird input. Apology Man's popping off too. I was like, dude, we got safe jumps on everything now. So it's real good. I like the patch frequency, but I'm not bothered by it because I digest mechanical changes like super quick, right? And they're buffing my character, so. And here's the thing. I thought Strive was in like a poor position, like going into this patch, right? Like, I don't like defense in Strive that much. I think things are a little too crazy. I really like the changes to the throw break window, and I really like the fact that FD got buffed. Those are personal things I wanted to see. I kind of wanted to see more IBFD, like make that window bigger. They didn't, and I understand why they didn't, because it would require like a big restructuring of defense. But I'll take like FD being buffed and the throw break window being buffed, right? So I thought defense up to this point was like super dumb in some matchups. Mostly Geo and Soul I thought were like idiotic. So it's like the thing, it's like there wasn't much room for like didn't feel like there was much room for like cleanliness or development in like terms of defense. So whenever they like buff defensive options, I'm always like jazzed. Even if they're just switching it up, I like it. So but that's because it helps me personally, right? That's all it is. Just empower me, Arxis. Just patch me. Make me stronger. Right? That's all it is. That's how I have fun. So. Anyways, I think we're sitting pretty. Is there any defensive mechanics from previous games I'd want to see adapted for Strive in the future? Absolutely not. Imagine putting slash back or fucking a bigger IB window with the pushback right now. With the pushback mechanic on IBFD. Or like the vacuum mechanic on IB. I don't want to see Blitz. Keep that in Exert. IK. Put IK back in. I don't know. I yeah, it's like I don't know how other people see defense, but I come from Exerd and plus R, where there's always a path forward to improving your defense, and it's very rewarding to do so. There's a lot going on in defense in those games, and it's more accessible in terms of like doing the cool crazy shit. Like IB is an 8-frame window. You can double tap slash back in plus R. There's cool little like weird blitz option selects you can do. Defense is just like super strong in those games, and offense is super strong. So but in this game, offense is strong and defense is strong, but they're very simple. They're exceptionally simple. There's not a lot of ways to like hedge your bets. If someone's being predictable, there's not a lot you can do about it. And by predictable, I mean like you kind of like know what they're doing on wake up. You're not making adjustments necessarily. You're just like rock paper scissors, strike throw, and there's not much more than that. So you can practice your adjustment and like making big reads and stuff, but there's not much beyond that, right? There's nothing extra. So it's not that stimulating for me. It's like, oh well. Well, even with FD against some characters, it doesn't fucking matter. So it's like a little wild. Or certain setups. Or characters have certain options that just like sort of negate it. So it's like, and with the decision making being so like straightforward, like what you do on offense, it's like, right? It just, there doesn't feel like there's a lot of variability in what you do. I like to do cool things on defense. I like to like do some maneuver and be like, ooh, look at me. But there's not a lot of that in Strive. So. But I mean, like, who the fuck was using that shit in like plus R and Exerd, right? So. This is just like old man Crack doing his thing. I think with the changes they've taken, it's very good. I like what they're doing. Cause like when they increase the throw break window, now I have option selects I can do, like late tech, right? Oh, I can practice my late tech. If someone's being predictable with their offense, I can like sneak in throw techs where I can't normally, right? Do like down back throw break, down back just frame stand throw if you need to stand to throw break. It doesn't seem that rewarding in Strive unless you know, like, have a situation where it works, right? And it's so inconsistent. And IB is already very hard to react to whether or not you do it successfully, that it becomes very hard to apply, right? So. And it doesn't feel like a big flex. I've played for like 14 years competitively. And like a flat 2-frame window based on my opponent's input, right? I'm never going to have that consistent. Never. And given like the, you can do stuff like IBFD fuzzy jump on wake up, stuff like that. Yeah, it's like Kara Garuda is going to neutralize the distance created by FD. That's fine. Because there's a lot of other situations where Garuda's kind of crazy. Thanks for stopping by, Action. But yeah. Anyways. Thank you all for stopping by. I'm probably going to have a snack or something. What else could I do? Well, I look forward to... I'll be streaming a lot of the post-patch. Because it sounds like a ton of fun. So I'll see you guys next week, I'm sure. Oh, it's Thursday already. Holy shit. Well, this weekend. Yeah, I think all the super bad matchups are done. I think that era is over. I think Geo could still be up here, but... See, Geo is another character that doesn't deal well with items getting out of control. Right? Because of her stilted movement. Because she has that fixed dash, right? So she might actually like suffer a lot from the item changes. Because just like going ham with item tosses now just got buffed. Which is probably why Nage is so excited. So we'll see. Actually, this might be because of the snip buffs. Like, now he can't even reversal super the jump D, maybe potentially. Kai. What's the snip buff? Recovery got reduced, so that unlocked a bunch of safe jumps potentially. We'll see. We'll see when it patch drops. My expectation is that we can now safe jump all the characters in the game, no exceptions. So you can do air dash jump D to light Afro on fire and safe jump every DP. Yeah, so that's super wild. Anyways, I'll send you guys somewhere fun. Oh, Kizzy's on. I met him this weekend. Friendly guy. We were supposed to play matches. We didn't get a chance. I was supposed to play SF and Kizzy in casuals, but it was a busy weekend. There was so much going on. So, and I needed to eat a lot. A lot, right? I needed to eat so much food. So I'll send you guys over, right? I'll send you guys over. You'll have a good time. Enjoy. Have fun. Oh, he's going over the patch notes too. You can get his takes. Get his takes. All right. Thanks for stopping by. I'll see y'all later, all right? Y'all take care. Bye-bye now.